Good morning. It's another Monday in London. It's a cold one. We've had snow across quite a lot of the UK yesterday, but I'm here at Liverpool Street Station. I'm about to make my way up to Stratford because I'm heading to the east end of the Central Line today, and I'm going to be trying out one of Greater Anglia's new Class 720s. As you'll have seen in a previous video, Greater Anglia are getting Stadler new trains as well as Bombardier new trains. The Stadler units have replaced the intercity Norwich services and the Stansted Express units, along with smaller Stadler units replacing all the rural services. The Class 720s from Bombardier are replacing pretty much everything else, so I'm going to give one a ride, one stop up to Stratford. Just a reminder, I'm a key worker. This is an essential journey. I'm just filming it for you whilst I'm here. Welcome to Flights and Times. So I'm on board one of the Class 321s that the Class 720s are replacing. These trains were built back in the late 80s and early 90s, between about 88 and 91, and have been operating on the Great Eastern Main Line for most of their working lives. They've been refurbished back in 2016, but they are rather tired and worn. Got very old dot matrix indicators, you can see behind me. The seats are looking rather worn, but essentially the 720s are generally replacing these for like for like. The 720s, like these Class 321s, are going to have 3 seats one side of the aisle, 2 seats to the other side, the standard commuter configuration. They're initially operating on the Southend Victoria route, but they will be introduced wider across the network as more are introduced. But I'm going to give you a quick tour through this Class 321 that the 720s will be replacing, and then I'll show you the 720s as well. Good morning. It is Monday the 22nd of March and I'm on board one of Greater Anglia's new Class 720s. I'm at London Liverpool Street. I'm just heading one stop up to Stratford as I'm going to the east end of the Central Line today. But I thought I'd give you a quick tour of the 720s to see what they're like and what is coming to replace the Class 321s and 360s on Greater Anglia commuter services. So the Class 720s are in a 2-3 high capacity layout. These are used on Greater Anglia's commuter services at the moment just down to Southend Victoria, but are eventually going to be introduced on all commuter services on the Great Eastern Main Line. So they need to be high capacity to get everybody on board. The 720s are very similar to the Class 345s operated by TfL Rail, soon to be the Elizabeth line. However, the 345s have a lot more standing capacity. the 720s have gone for seating capacity due to the length of journey usually made. There are lots of bays, no tables, plug sockets included in all the seats, new LED
this is the service to
technology,
Southend, Victoria.
all PRM compliant. But yeah, so essentially this is the class 720. So one negative thing about the 720s is because of the 2-3 configuration, the aisle is very narrow. It's quite hard to walk from one end of the carriage to the other.
This is the service to Southend, Victoria.
There are bike spaces on board, up to 4 bicycles according to this. This bit's a nice easy bit to walk through. There is toilets on board, so there is one standard toilet and one accessible toilet at the other end. And then, so these are all 5 carriage trains. Improvement on the 4-car units on the 321s and the 360s. There is no first class on board though. The only first class that will remain on Greater Anglia will be on the intercity London to Norwich services. Generally these trains are operated in pairs, so you've now got a 10-car train operating instead of 3 4-cars, so 10 carriages instead of 12. But overall I think capacity is still improved on a 10-car compared to a 12-car. But this is the class 720.